I don't believe I'm up here. Let's see. I've really thought hard about open wounds. And I guess as I've done so, I've realized how hard I've worked in my life to get rid of anything that might be an open wound. I've done Zig Ziglar. I've done Earl Nightingale. I've done Tony Robbins. And I don't have any open wounds. But I kept thinking there must be something. And then I remembered my stepfather. And I remembered that when we were kids, pretty much every night he came home pretty drunk and pretty unhappy about situations at home, which was no dinner on the table and an ADD wife and things like that. And he had an expression, and we heard it all the time, to the point where we're still laughing about it today. It wasn't funny then, but this is the only time I'm going to say it. No matter what was going wrong or not even wrong, he would say, "What burns my ass?" And then he would go on. And so we're in mixed company tonight. And I'm mixed, aren't I? So I'm not going to use that word anymore. But I really did think hard about it. And so I started thinking about some of the things that kind of burn my buns. And one of them, I guess, is credit card companies that happily tell people who make a gazillion dollars and have all the money in the world that they're going to make 2% reward every time they buy toilet paper at Walmart, or every time they, buy a $400 dinner at a posh restaurant. And meanwhile, they're going to charge, as I found out tonight, the highest rate that a credit card can charge is 79.9%. And that's going to be to somebody who can maybe get a secured debit card and who uses the debit card to buy milk and bread and tries to fit in milk and bread between the 3 jobs they hold. And I think that really blisters my buttocks. So I tried to put it out of my mind, because now I was kind of on a roll. And I remembered all those Wall Street pirates that walked away with the gold, and how they ended up in the cabinet somehow. And I think, how did that happen? How did that just happen? But it did. And that really kind of heated up my hiney. So then I tried to get this out of my mind, and all these things wouldn't go away anymore. So I found myself thinking about all those ads that are in those magazines that you sit down to read, and you think you're going to have a relaxing few moments, and every page you turn is some woman on a bus with a bladder that looks like it's going to burst at any minute, and you say, I need a break, I need a break. But you start thinking about, is that bladder going to make it? Is it going to make it off the bus into some restroom somewhere? And then I started thinking about the pipes that you see inside somebody's body. And I think, why do we have to see all this? And then I found myself getting angry about the little animated bear whose bum we're watching get wiped. And I'm thinking, please, let me alone, let me alone. And it got worse. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I found myself getting mad at the airlines, because I can't call I can't call my travel agent anymore and book a flight and just say thanks, that was great. I now have to fight with the website and play games with the website, and you leave for 5 minutes and you come back, and that $200 flight is now $460. And that just really, really heated up my hiney. So I kept getting madder and madder and madder. And I thought, this is not really, I don't have any open wounds. But I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I would find myself thinking about a long time ago when I went to an investment seminar. And the guy doing the talk went through all the wonderful ways to invest money. And he ended up saying, but the best one of all, is a cable company. Why? Because they have a monopoly. And he said, whenever they want to raise rates, they raise rates. And that increases profits. And I remember thinking at the time, wow, that's amazing. And I remember at the time thinking, $10 a month and no advertisements? I'll go for it. Is there anybody here paying $10 a month? Anybody not watching ads on cable? So I don't really have any open wounds, but but what really, really, really just catches my keister on fire is, you know, I guess it's when I feel like big companies have made their customers into victims. And I feel that way, I guess, when I sit down and watch television and I'm watching some 35-year-old woman lob a shot over the net and she's wearing Depends. And I think, why am I watching this? Or I watch a 25-year-old guy enjoying a great night with Viagra in his back pocket. Or I watch, I don't know, I forget what else, but it's stuff that we all have to tune out. And so I have no open wounds. I have none at all. But I do find myself thinking about a little island somewhere in the middle of nowhere, where I can get away from all these things that maybe they bother other people, but they don't really bother me. And you know what the best part of it is? You don't have to prick your finger.
Yes, sir.